I am excited for our next special guest and our last speakers of the day for this event before I hang out and close it towards the very, very end. Our next individuals are, I'm telling you what, man, when it comes to I get a lot of questions. Okay. I get a ton of questions before I bring them in. I get a ton of questions about automations, CRM, like even like dialers or text messages or like an all-in-one sales and marketing CRM. And so I have brought to our 8% virtual conference, whether you're on the private VIP Zoom or whether you're watching on the free URL at 8%nation.com/live or whether you're watching on our YouTube channel, we have, I believe, the absolute best CRM in the space that is dominating the industry of digital marketing and helping businesses and consumers and owners with sales and marketing with their all-in-one sales and marketing CRM called GoHighLevel. So please welcome, as I spotlight Mr. Shaun Clark and Mr. Jake Barden. Shaun is the CEO and co-founder of GoHighLevel. How are you, sir? Welcome to 8% Virtual.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. What a great intro.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man. I'm excited to have you guys on. What y'all are doing is truly amazing. I'm even got some links that I'm going to share a little bit for those that are interested in actually setting up a free demo of the account, starting a 30-day free trial, all those things. I know you're super busy. I know you do a ton of these type speaking events, and so I appreciate you making some time for us today.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Well, my team wanted me to do this like crazy presentation thing. But I'm not really a good presenter and I don't do slides very well. I'm an engineer. So maybe I'll just, I like showing off product anyway. So maybe this is a better way to go, but basically, HighLevel has been around now for about 5 years and we've gone from a standing start to about 3 million customers. And we have a lot of folks in the insurance space today. And really our mission was to create kind of that one-stop shop so that you could run your entire business. And we really started with a focus on how do you, we think of it as capture, nurture, close. Like how do you, everything you need to capture a lead, everything you need to nurture that lead kind of to take those next steps. And those things are like getting appointments booked. And then how do you close those leads into sales? And that's really kind of the gist of what HighLevel does. And it does it through a lot of different technologies, but we basically tried to take everything that a business would ever want and put it all in one spot. So that this is like our two-way communications. You can do two-way emailing and texting and phone calling, all kind of in the same channel. We also support things like Facebook messengers, Instagram DMs, Google business messaging, all of the different channels that you can imagine. We'll have WhatsApp coming out next month. We've got a full CRM system that kind of goes in with it. So you can really track through everything that is happening with your client. You can see all of your past communications, tasks, notes, all the same stuff you would expect in a CRM system, obviously. Full calendaring, scheduling, and booking, obviously, which is very cool. So if you're using a Calendly or a Schedule Once or that kind of thing, you can replace all of that. Then, of course, your opportunity and pipeline tracking system is also all in there. And really the focus of this is not just to bring all these tools together, which we absolutely do, but also to bring a lot of automation to bear. So we have an entire workflow builder that allows you to create these very sophisticated sort of user journey flows. But what we also pride ourselves in doing, and we've done this from the very beginning, is we've worked with businesses that do a lot of lead generation and really need to take those leads and get them to make an appointment. So the system also has a lot of AI capabilities where essentially it's very simple. A lead comes in, we're going to get a hold of that lead within 5 minutes or less, and then we're going to automatically get that lead to actually book an appointment, all of it without having a human being have to get involved 99% of the time. So there's a ton of features in here. I could go on for days, but that is kind of the quick 5-second story behind HighLevel.
I love it, buddy. Thank you for doing that, man. It's
I mean, no worries.
I've been hearing about you guys for years. I didn't realize you had, I think you said, did you say 3 million customers?
Yeah, 3 million customers. Absolutely.
Goodness gracious. Well, if that's not like a testimonial for like how powerful this is and how much the industry loves this, then I don't really know what is, It's amazing. Here's one thing I was thinking about too, is like, I get a lot of questions about, hey, Cody, I have this program or this program or this program or this program. And they've got like, 20, 30 different programs, all these subscriptions. From what I've seen, this allows you to take all of those and literally have them in one single place at one single cost. Why don't you talk about some of those pieces?
Yeah, so that's really how we got started in life. So our original customers all had the same thing. It's like, I bought 7 different products. I'm trying to glue them all together with Zapier. It's expensive. It never quite works right. And so when we worked with these folks, that was kind of our mission number one. And, we really, again, we've been doing this for 5 years. So there's almost no feature we don't have. And what we found is by putting them all together, there's a lot of amazing things that you can have happen. So for example, like if you're looking at a CRM contact, one of the things you want to know isn't just, what have you communicated with them, but actually, I'll screen share again, but you want to see their whole journey. So like if you see over here on the right-hand side, you can actually see the entire journey of this contact, every single page that they visited. And then you can see like where they came from. So like right here, I can see that this came in from paid search. I can see what campaign it came from. I can see all of this information. And as they do things like, for example, submit order forms, and then they subsequently do other things, you can track their whole journey. You can create workflows around it. And you really can't do this if you aren't housing all of the interactivity in one spot. And in fact, that's funny because this person actually just called in. So when you have all of this together in one place, you're able to sort of seamlessly realize, when you're talking to someone, where did they come from? What offers have they seen? What interests do they have? And you can also create a lot of automation around that, because as you go through this, you'll learn like, okay, when someone does this, takes this action, raises their hand here, clicks this link, goes to this page, that's when I want to really hit them with, a phone call or a this or a that. And you can trigger all that stuff because it's all seamlessly interwoven into one system.
Amazing. I do want to mention a few of a lot of the key pieces that I think are really valuable for our audience.
Please do. Yeah, absolutely. I'll navigate for you while you talk.
Okay, cool. So I think CRM and pipeline management comes up a lot. We're talking about working leads, which I love this, like when you can literally start to see actual flow and a pipeline of a journey of a new lead. And then you can literally, when they take an action, move them to the next stage, and it'll start actually doing things for you behind the scenes. It's like having a bunch of virtual assistants inside of a system, just doing it for you on, with technology. The CRM and pipeline management is super impressive. Yeah, as you can see, like literally,
it is very cool. Yeah, you can do all the manual movements, but as well as the automated movements as well, and the reverse, which is kind of cool because I was just showing off. Let's say I'm on a call with somebody, I could be in here not just updating all of their information, but I can also book appointments with them or create tasks, do notes. But then I can do the reverse. Let's say this person, I'm actually talking to them, and it's a manual movement. When I drop this card, I actually kick off an automation based on the drop. Or the reverse. Let's say, you say, look, I only want somebody in this status for 3 days. And if they are not moved by 3 days, something's wrong. I need to take an action. So you can actually have basically like no lead left behind. 3 days goes by, boom, the workflows are kicking off. So there's all kinds of cool ways to automate it.
Yeah. The next piece I really love too is the like unlimited sales funnels and website builder. That comes up a lot with like just building funnels and pages and all those things. And I've actually played around in this a lot recently because I'm just starting to like nerd out and geek out and enjoy it and like enjoy what's possible. And you're right, man. Like literally everything you would ever normally want to do, you can just do in this.
Absolutely. And blogging, websites, forums, surveys, social media posting, like you name it. There's really nothing you can't do. And this thing is super simple. It's like, it's drag and drop. You just want to bring it out here. Of course, I'm the worst, person to ever design anything creative, but even I can do something decent in here. And you can do cool things like see what it's going to look like in a mobile view. You can change how this looks on a mobile phone versus a desktop. So if you want to hide and show things or have different sizes, this and that, you can do all of it. And it's all just right here. It's drag and drop, custom domains, all that stuff, split testing, et cetera, just all the way down the line. Very, very, very easy to do.
So we just have one question. John jumped in the chat and said, please tell me about the accounting link and payments processing.
Sure. So payments is a big part of what we do today. So we have the ability to obviously create invoices, proposals, estimates. You can do recurring subscriptions in here, coupons, all kinds of transactions. We integrate with Authorize.net, NMI, Stripe to do a lot of that work. You can do things like, it's really cool. You can create, again, I'm a terrible person to do this, but you can create these really beautiful proposals and estimates. And then what you can do is you can come in and you can actually, let's say I shoot off like a product list to you, and then I say, okay, I want a signature. And this is DocuSign sort of level signature. So we're capturing all of the pertinent data that's legally binding to know that they actually signed this. And then from here, you can automatically create an invoice out of it. Send me the invoice. I can pay it. I can pay it via credit card, ACH, all that stuff. So there's a lot of cool payment options there. And all of this is also built into funnels as well. So for example, let's say you said, oh no, what I'm going to do is I want to sell something today. You can actually come in here and you'd put in an actual one-step order form or a two-step order form. So you can actually collect credit card information and make a sale in here. So there's a lot of things you can do around selling and collecting payments.
Amazing. Yeah, it's so cool. Also too, I'm actually want to mention this really quick too, because we have a bunch that are watching maybe live on YouTube or even privately on another URL and not in the Zoom. You can go to GoHighLevel.com/CA to get access to all these things and to actually start a 30-day free trial immediately. And then the team will actually be able to help you with kicking off and launching and onboarding and all those things. That's one of the things I love the most from everything that I've learned by getting to know you and your team is how much additional help and support and service and how great y'all are on the back end. So many tech companies that they get me on a subscription and they don't talk to me ever again. You guys are like super hands-on. I'm so impressed.
So I modeled this. This will sound funny, but I when I first got started with HighLevel, and I still do this to this day. In fact, I was on a call literally before this with a customer. I would onboard every customer myself. And unfortunately, we got to this place where I couldn't do that. And then I brought in my co-founder. We ran out of his time. And, we're now at almost 700 employees. So it's really hard to onboard all those folks. So one day I walked into a Verizon store and I really liked the fact that somebody walked up to me immediately and said, hey, thank you. Welcome to Verizon. And they checked me in. And sure, I had to wait 30 minutes, but it was nice because I knew that I was in the queue, but I was also like in a store. I could talk to other customers if I wanted to. I could look around, that kind of thing. I just love this hands-on concept. So we did this virtually. So we did this with Zoom rooms. So when you join, you actually get pulled into a Zoom room. We have live people to help get you going. And then all the way throughout the rest of your experience with us, there's always this ability, you can chat, you can open tickets and all that, but you can also literally get in a room with a person and have them like do a screen share like this, show them what you're trying to do, and they'll actually walk you through it.
That's awesome. Another question, can you have multiple users?
You can have unlimited users. Oh, here's the fun part about it. So we don't play any games. So like we don't price like other people do. So there's no contact limits. There's no user limits. There's none of that stuff. So you don't really, every other CRM I've ever seen, their whole game is like either they give you like a free tier or they give you a really cheap tier. And the whole shtick is like, okay, I can't wait for this person to, go to a big show and get a bunch of attendees and then load them up and bam, $500 a month. Here we go. We don't play that game. So you can do unlimited contacts, unlimited users. We just don't have limits, unlimited funnels, unlimited websites. There's no limits here.
Yeah. There's one thing too that I wanted to mention as well that I loved is like if you look at your website and you look at all the different things that are included versus like paying individual subscriptions, you can get this for like a few $100s a month. You start totaling all those things and you would normally be paying, and it says on the site, $7,064 a month for all of the different subscriptions and products and services that you would normally need if you didn't have this. And I have to attest that that's accurate. I won't mention the name, but I was paying a software company before I learned about HighLevel, about $60,000 a year because of the amount of contacts we had and all the other things that were going on, which was insane. It started out at 10 grand and then 40, and then it just kept going up. And I'm like, goodness gracious, when is this going to end?
Never is the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the game they play, right? So that's kind of how those other people run their business. And we ran into this early on, and we just didn't want to be those people, so we just never adopted that strategy. And so, our goal is we want to just be straight with our customers and like, hey, look, we get it. Sometimes you're going to load in a big list, and then sometimes that list will go down, it'll go up, it'll move around. But we don't want to live in a world where you feel penalized, like, oh my goodness, should I upload this whole thing? Should I send emails out to all these people? I don't know. Can I, am I going to get charged more? We just didn't want to ever have that feeling, because we know that feeling sucks, and we don't want to do that for our customers.
Yeah, no, it does. It's no fun for sure. And so I love that. There's even some, like, for those that have like offices or agencies or call centers, there's ability for adding logos and some of those other custom pieces when it comes to like multi-user stuff. Why don't you talk about and mention that piece for like agencies?
Yeah, absolutely. So this whole thing is multi-user and multi-tenant from by design. So you can actually you can have everybody in the system simultaneously. They can be making inbound calls. They can be making outbound calls. We have a full phone system in the app. So and we also have a mobile app that does the same thing. So you can do on the go inbound calls, outbound calls, all through the system. You can share numbers. You can do ring all strategies. So if you have a sales team, for example, or you have a lot of people maybe out on the go and you don't know who's available and who's not, you can ring everybody. You can bring your call center into it. You can do things like, if you don't pick up, you can roll the call over. So there's a lot of different options around. And then there's a unified inbox structure. So you can have everybody kind of working out of the same inbox. You can also do things like, but then you can go the opposite way. You can also assign leads to people. And let's say some people have very competitive sales teams. You want to make sure that, Bob's leads, Bob can't see Jenny's leads and Jenny can't see Bob's leads. You can shut it off so that each person is literally working off their same leads. And you can have as many almost of anything you want. So like somebody, I think, just asked about, does everything get smushed into one pipeline? You can have as many pipelines as you want, as many stages as you want. But again, back to that competitive sales team aspect, you could actually have a single pipeline where, as the salesperson, I'm in there and I'm only seeing my leads in that pipeline. And then another salesperson is seeing just their leads. And then you as the manager can actually see all the leads, and obviously can filter if you just want to see specific people's leads or specific statuses, that kind of thing. So really, honestly, we really built this with people who are selling in mind. I mean, again, we've been doing this for 5 years. We have 3 million customers. And the way we thought about this from the very get-go is, I've got a lead. Now, how do I take that lead and turn it to a customer as fast as humanly possible? And that is exactly what the system is kind of core built to do.
Is every user accessing their own dashboard to access their own individual pipeline, or is entire agency merged into one, which you talked about a little bit?
Yep, exactly. Interface to rate and policy platforms. Well, we have that one. We have a full developer API. So I think you would be surprised to find there are probably folks that do that.
Yeah, because they could bring a lot of those quoting engines in. Yeah,
exactly. In fact, we have a lot of people. So you can, and then the other cool thing is you can actually add left menu items. So if there's another system that you're using right now, you can actually seamlessly add it in. So it's literally sitting there as a left menu item. So as a user, I can click it. It'll actually show up inside the system. So you can kind of merge them together. So if I'm working off of 2 different systems normally, I can now actually make it actually into one. So that's very cool.
That's amazing. I love it.
Deanna actually is asking a great question. A2P10 DLC. This is a big change that's just happened. If you haven't run into it, you will. Basically, all of us are sick and tired of getting spam texts. And so I always joke, if there's one thing Republicans and Democrats can agree on, it's nobody wants spam texts. And so the carriers saw this coming down, and so they raced out to fix this problem before Congress acted. And so they created this new thing called A2P10 DLC, and it's actually fairly simple in its idea, which is, instead of just being able to buy a phone number anonymously and send text anonymously, you have to identify who you are, down to either if you're a sole prop, it's an EIN. If you're S Corp or C Corp, it's going to be other way around. It's an SSN. If you're a sole prop, it's an EIN. If you're an S Corp or C Corp, and you basically have to register. But the cool thing is, we built that entire registration flow into GoHighLevel, and we also have an entire team of people that you can, again, jump on a call with, who will actually walk you through it. But we have had we're also a very large vendor, as you might imagine. We use Twilio for our to power all of this. I just recently found out we're their second largest customer. So we have some incredibly, no, not bad, huh? It came as a shock to me too. Although I'm still shooting for number one now that I know it. But anyway, so they've prioritized all of our registrations. And so we're seeing some people get through as quickly as 24 hours. I'd say it's more routinely 48 and 72, but the reality is that we can help you get that process knocked out.
Incredible. Shaun, how should we close this, man? Again, I appreciate your time very much.
I don't know. I just show up and talk and answer questions when people ask them, but I'm just happy to be here.
I love it, man. I'm glad you're here. I think you've answered all the questions we have so far. They can go to GoHighLevel.com/CA, or I put the link in chat if you're inside the Zoom. Shaun, amazing software. Thank you for all that you've been doing to help agencies and insurance agents, man. It's amazing.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. Thanks, everybody. And see you next time.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Shaun Clark, CEO and co-founder of GoHighLevel. And yes, I am also ridiculously impressed by that dude. 3 million. I don't know if you guys caught all this, man. 3 million customers. Like, that system does not play. As you could tell, that dude moves quick. He's got a lot going on. We were fortunate to get him in here to get to hang out with us today. So you can go to GoHighLevel.com/CA. I know you guys have a bazillion questions about CRMs and automations, all this other stuff all the time. So you might as well jump in and make sure you can get access to something like this. I promise you, it is the answer. Okay. Like, I'm not a tech dude, but I get asked a bazillion questions. And when it comes to tech and software and automations, all the things nowadays, if you can get it all in one place, it's really important. It's really important. It's really valuable. It for sure is. So you can go to GoHighLevel.com/CA to learn more about it and actually register for a 30-day free trial.
Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there.
I'm so excited for today's CA Power Player podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins. We got a special guest. He is back on the channel talking about how to sell life insurance from home. Here's what I love about this person. Okay, I'm telling you, this will be one of the best.